leadership means to you. What makes a good leader or a bad leader? Leadership perhaps is one of the most misunderstood subjects in the world. I work in my family companies. We have jewelry shop in department stores. Many of our employees have working longer than I have working in my office. I don't have sales experience, so I was afraid to make a mistake judging by others. My rules in my companies is being a buyer, jewelry buyer, or education trainer. So I try to do a lot of researching how to become a good leader, how to hold a company's meetings in a good way. I have emphasized a few tips which I really like and I want to share with you. First of all, leadership is about creativity. American author Seth Godin's, he said, leadership and management are different things. Leadership is not management. Managers need authority, which means in some factory or some organizations, people doing the process repeatedly. But the world has changed faster than before. Now the self-driving cars replace driver. AI machine arms replace workers. In the face of change, we are not be able to do the same old-fashioned way. So we need to be more creative. For example, the last Apple CEO, Steve Jobs, he has perceived as a very creative leader in the world because he followed his own path. That's why Apple is become the worldwide trendsetters in the technology fields. In my companies, when I hold the company meetings, I think the best way to enlighten people, to enlighten our employees is by asking questions, because that's bring them to have brainstorming and everyone become an innovator leaders. Secondly, I believe leadership is about embrace failure. When we at school, we're doing standardized tests. But in the reality, there's a lot of things, awful things happen. Yes. So we need to embrace failure. On the other hand, leadership is about innovation and creativity. So it means when we're making mistakes, we're learning from our experience, learning from our mistake. For example, Elon Musk, he embraced his failure when the SpaceX rocket failed multi-billion times, but he never stopped trying. So in my company meetings, I love everyone to share their experience, how they solve the customer issues. A lot of people are afraid to become a leader because they are too afraid to take a responsibility, afraid of making a mistake. But everyone share their experience and everyone can become a good leader. Next, I believe good leaders inspire more people to become leaders. Another Roosevelt, she says, a good leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves. They have confidence in themselves. I recognize, because these ideas has done on me, I realized that heroes trying to solve all the problems, trying to answer everything, but it just doesn't make sense because the world has too complex for every one of us to have the answers. So I believe everyone should work as a team because everyone has their strengths and weakness. So we need to work as a team, and it's essential for companies. Finally, I believe a good leaders, in order to be a good leader, must to be a good role model first. Jesus says, "Do unto others as you have them do unto you." If you want others to do so, you need to do it first to inspire people. Because ultimately, a good leader is about how we behave, who we are. Because I believe everything reflects is simply because of our behavior. In conclusions, there is many ways to become a good leader. Not just those 4 tips. We have so much to learn. So I emphasize those 4 tips to share with you guys. To be creative leaders, create more leaders, to embrace the failures, and finally, take the first step because there is a footprint on the roots. I believe we need to try first, and then to be encourage people, and then everyone can be a leader. Thank you, Toastmasters.